long time ago. And I was a little girl in 1966. We came to the United States, and I didn't speak a word of English. And I had to learn in first grade both how to read and how to speak English. And my father signed me up for the Weekly Readers Book Club. And one of the very first books that I read for the Weekly Reader Book Club in English was The Travels of Monarch X. And this was a book about trying to learn about the migration of the monarch butterflies. In the back it said, "This is a true story of a monarch butterfly. It was one of thousands of monarchs tagged by Dr. Fred Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada, in his interesting studies of butterfly migration." Now, at the time when I read this book, it wasn't my favorite book, and I thought I would much rather read about people, and I would much rather read fiction than nonfiction. Of course, I was just 6 years old, and English was not my strongest language. However, the story stayed in my mind, and when I wrote Ping and the Snarkily People, I mentioned it. And then, many, many years later, when I moved to Missouri, I started taking an interest in the milkweed plants that were growing on my property. And I learned that those were the plants that the monarch butterfly caterpillars needed in order to grow. And I started to read about the butterfly migration again. And it was an old story made new. And then one day I was, browsing on Amazon, and something was suggested to me as a book that I might like to read. And so I ordered the book, and it was by Anurag Agrawal, who is my guest on the live stream tonight on my other channel. And that book was so wonderful, and it even mentioned the history of the study of monarch migrations, and it mentioned that first book from my childhood. I enjoyed reading Monarchs and Milkweed, and I got to the point where I thought it would be the greatest dream come true if I could have the author of Monarchs and Milkweed as a guest on my live stream. And so today I decided that I would honor my guest by trying to do a watercolor portrait of him in my little sketchbook. Now, this may not be a very accurate portrait, but I think it gives the spirit of the man, and you may not be able to see that that's a butterfly on his forehead, but that's what it is. And I really enjoy sketching in my little pocket sketchbook using watercolors. It allows me, even though my schedule is very busy now, to continue to try to improve my art and to do a better job. So I hope you enjoyed this painting, and I hope you will join us tonight on the live stream to speak with Anurag Agrawal about monarch butterflies, the milkweed plant, and the annual migration of the monarchs.